What to do, what to do. Okay, guys, so this is gonna be my first lesson in teaching basic Spanish. Okay, so what I've noticed, the best way to learn Spanish, is just learning because English and Spanish, both use for the most part the same pronunciations for letters, but except for the five Latin vowels, which, French, Italian, Portuguese all use these five Latin vowels, which are these. So I can see I have paint pulled up right here, and uh, you the five Latin vowels is, well. Let me just type them out. They're five. This is why Spanish is so easy to learn because there's only five Latin vowels, and then from there you can just work on your vocabulary and syntax. But let me sit down the five Latin vowels. So these are the five Latin vowels: a, e, I, o, u. Um, so what you want to do is just repeat yourself. Make sure you get these pronunciations. Obviously, I know them like out at the top of my head because I've been speaking Spanish since I was like 12 years old. Um, so so these are the five basic Latin vowels: a, I, o, u. Obviously, you can also learn basic Spanish like greeting each other, like saying hola and saying hola like to say hello. Adios to say bye. Uh, so yes, so memorize these vowels. Make sure you get them on point. The first one is ah. Ah. You wanna like open up your mouth, like making the ah sound, kind of like ah, 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 and then you have the e, eh, eh, eh. Now the e kind of sounds like the e from the word pet. Just remove the p and the t and say pet, eh, eh, and then you got the e. Uh, the I uh the I letter in Spanish is uh is said as e. So so the I to say the I under a vowel under the Spanish vowel is e. E. You know this in English. This should be easy. Piece of cake. E. And then you have the O, is which is like if you're studying French, there are two. Well, never mind. Take that back. So we got the O, which is u. No, it's o. 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 It, o. It's like saying like the O, like oh my gosh, like oh, 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 O. O, instead of saying O, you say O. Like you flatten out the end. O. Instead of like ending, instead of like giving like an ending, you make it, you flatten out the ending when you say O. Instead of saying O, 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 O. And the last one is U. Now, if you're studying French, there are two U's. There's a light U and there's a strong U. You want to do the light U. The U, 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 U. A, E, I, O, U. A, I, O, U. A, I, O, U. U. So it's a light U. The last one is a light U from French. If you're trying to learn French, if you know about French. So let's just get that out of the way. Numbers. I mean, we can get into numbers, but I want to get into the alphabet, how to say letters in Spanish. Um, it's pretty tricky. Well, first of all, I should want to make this like as a first lesson. The five Latin vowels. Remember those. Repeat them. You don't know. I hate it when people say, "Oh, you have to know how to roll your R's when you speak Spanish." You're like, no, not necessarily. You have to knock off these five Latin vowels as a native. If you want to, if you want to sound like more like a native speaker, you have to knock off these five Latin vowels. Now, if you don't like, yeah, and then if you already know how to roll your R's, that's a good thing. But if you don't know how to roll your R's, it's still not, like, I personally don't know how to roll my R's in Spanish, and I've interacted with people in Spanish speaking countries without knowing how to roll my R's. They still understood me perfectly. So the main thing is to knock off these five Latin vowels.